y'all, so look at the drink. It's so cute. It has a little Barbie scene, like beach. It's not really beach. It's like by the pool scene in the top with a pink straw. And it says Barbie Movie. I love it. Super cute. So we're in the theater. Turns out we went to the wrong theater, but they gave us seats. We're just in the very front row. We're like in row A, y'all. So let me show you how close I am. This is the floor with the little exit. The screen is right here. So this is the screen. The screen is really close, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's at least we're getting to see the movie. Our other movie was at 3:15 and this one is at 4, so it is a full house in here, but I am excited. I will let you guys know how the movie is when the movie is over. Hey everyone, it's the Single Life Advocate. So I just saw the movie. Mommy gave it a 6. I was gonna say a 5 or a 6, and here's why. In the movie, everything in some way was controlled by men. And even when they made it seem like women were getting women's rights and like fighting for good, it was still controlled by men. So you have Will Ferrell and the rest of the people who work and are over Mattel, the CEO of Mattel. So when Barbie goes to the real world, she is talking to these men and they're trying to get her to fit in a box and go back to the world that she was living in, metaphorically and physically. It was very stereotypical, like literally the main character is stereotypical Barbie. And it was her journey of going into the real world to try to fix herself. The one part of the Barbie movie that I loved was when American Ferrera's character was talking about everything that women have had to deal with in comparison to what men have to deal with. And I do have to say, if men went through half the stuff that women do, they probably would not make it.
Tell me something I don't know.
Like, women do have to go through a lot of different stuff. We do a lot more, and I will always feel that way. I just think that the movie was a bad representation because while it seemed like they were selling this idea of women being able to go after their dreams and do what they want to do, they really were being controlled by the CEOs, which was a board of all men.
You're joking.
So it was like, within the scope of what men think of you, choose what you want to do. And that is never something that I would want to present to my daughters and to my girls. It's really pitched and pushed on girls, young girls and women growing up, that what you should be is all based out of what men want. So you dress nice and you wear makeup for a husband. You go on diets so you can stay fit to look nice to meet a man. You know, act a certain way or change your hair or do your hair a certain way. You wear a certain perfume that he said he liked because of a man. All of these things are because of a man. And it's really irritating to see that because honestly, whether someone chooses to get married or not, I don't think that should ever be their mindset. You do what God tells you to do and you wear what God says is okay to wear and you express yourself and you have fun and you live the life that God has called you to. Like, that's on period. Like, I never think that any woman should force themselves to subject themselves to men because we're not supposed to be subjected. Like, God sees us all like equal, both children. No, that's not one less than another. Men are not greater than women. Like, this is a really big problem and it's pushed in subliminal ways. So like for girls, most Disney movies or even movies about princesses, the whole goal is to feature Prince Charming. Even when it seems like the Barbies are having a win, Barbie world is controlled by a CEO and group of all men. Not a good movie for kids. I wouldn't even really say it's a good movie for adults, but I do know that for the 4 generations of Anglo-Saxon women that were in there from all these different families who were all dressed up, and I have nothing against dressing up, but like for them, this was a movement. Like, this movie meant everything to them because it was like the civil rights movement for them. Like the Black Panther movie and the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie, what that was for brown people, that is what this Barbie movie is for Anglo-Saxon people. Ken, and everything that he was, he's like a whiny baby.
There, I always say go. I'm the go guy.
Ken in the movie was like he just wasn't having the fact that Barbie didn't want him, and it caused him to revolt when he found out what patriarchy was. He brought it back to Barbie Land, and it caused havoc. In Ken being an absolute baby and whining about everything and causing this whole governmental shift, all because Barbie wouldn't be with him. Like, that's a brat. Grow up. Put your big boy pants on and grow up. Like, not even the Ken that I knew about growing up was like that. It's just like the Ken that was Barbie's Ken still was independent and on his own. It was like a friend that they clearly had a thing. You don't cry and change the entire society all because this girl didn't like you and she won't marry you. Like, that's controlling narcissistic behavior.
Narcissism by Raquel.
I didn't like how they were having the girls in the beginning. They were talking about how Barbie came to be, and how that lady created her. And they were having girls take the baby dolls that they were playing with before and like hit them and break these tea sets with the babies' heads and like whack them ridiculously, and just like extremely express that they didn't want them anymore. But that would have been horrifying for me as a kid, first of all. And then second of all, it just was rude and disrespectful. I can see kids throwing their baby dolls and really getting upset and angry over that just because they saw it on TV, not because it's something they actually wanted to do.
Another thing that I didn't like about the movie is that at the end of the movie, it's where Barbie is talking to the lady that created Barbies, and she's talking about wanting to be human. And she asks her, wait, so I don't have to ask you if I can be human. I can just do kind of whatever I want. She was talking about how she wanted to be the thing that creates them, not the creation. And I feel like that was a subliminal message she tried to tell people, to tell girls and everyone who watches the movie, that you don't have to submit to the authority of God. While meanwhile, the whole rest of the movie was talking about submitting to the patriarchy and men and all this stuff. But you can do anything that God has called you to do. Anything and everything that God has called you to do. And I really highly encourage you to do it. And don't stop. Keep pursuing God. Keep pursuing your word. Keep doing everything that God has called you to do, even when it's never been done before. That's what God's people do. It's not Barbie that created that idea. It's God's. That was one thing.
Objectifying women is also another thing that they talked about in there. But it wasn't addressed as something that was a problem. It was like the Barbies used the behavior of the Kens to end up manipulating them into taking Barbie Land back and changing it from Ken World back to Barbie Land.
I don't think that parents should ever give their kids anything to hold on to that's not Jesus. Because Jesus is the only one who is ever going to be consistent and that will ever satisfy them. So when we give our kids, I'm not saying that you can't like play with Barbies and stuff, but just teach them that that's not all they can be. It's not just like an idea. When God leads you to do something, it doesn't matter if anyone has done it before or hasn't done it before. God's unique. So no one's purpose is going to be exactly the same. But you just have to trust him in that and then live. Like, it doesn't just have to be an idea.
But I would say do not take your kids to see this movie. It has sexualized Barbies, so what kids know Barbies to be, that is not what they're going to see.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really jumbled this video. Like, I went all over the place, so I'm going to probably edit and like so if you made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. Please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to join the family, hit the bell for post notifications, and make sure that you leave a comment. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.